You are welcome to yet another episode of LFN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. R. Kelly was subjected to a conglomerate of accusations, many of which were only intended to tarnish his public image to weaken him before the government could strike by placing charges. It's no wonder therefore that many of these accusations did not make it to the actual charge sheet that constituted the indictment. Among these baseless accusations was kidnap, for example, which after the government realized they could not present for a lack of evidence, they modified to come up with Mann Act charges that are completely detached from his original case. Among the list was also allegations of physical abuse, which clearly did not hold any water, for there was no evidence to prove any such things happened. Among the entire collection of accusations though were claims that R. Kelly enticed and coerced these women, allegations that managed to sneak their way onto the charge sheet whose legitimacy has now become highly questionable. Looking into what kind of women are said to have been enticed by R. Kelly though will reveal that many of these had actually been lying about their age and were never under 18 as they claimed. This leaves us wondering what was there to entice among these clearly adult women that should have known what they were doing when they chose to seek relationships with a married man that had children of his own he should have been taking care of, but selfishly came into his life with hope to take advantage of his financial resources, which they succeeded at. And when he finally realized these women were simply opportunity seekers and he chose to drop them, they waged war against him, and sadly, the government is helping them to destroy him. As if lying about their age was not enough, these women also had records of breaking the law themselves and telling lies under oath. And even during testimony, some of these women mentioned that it was either their parents or their aunties and uncles that were pushing them to seduce R. Kelly and coaching them on how to please him. It's funny to learn that amidst all this evidence that suggests it was the women enticing R. Kelly by way of seduction and not the other way round, the government insisted R. Kelly enticed them, and this is so weird. Why would R. Kelly be held responsible for allegedly seducing adult women that were not only mature enough to make their own decisions, but that also have a reputation of giving false witness even under oath? And why would they insist he did wrong, yet the women's latest confessions in court suggest otherwise? According to the Chicago principal witness Jane, for example, it was never R. Kelly that enticed her or that convinced her in any way to be with him, but her own Aunt Sparkle, who has also been all over the media speaking the worst of R. Kelly only because he rejected her. Remember, Jane testified that it was her Aunt Stephanie Edward, also known as Sparkle, that coached her on how to seduce R. Kelly by instructing her to sit on his lap and asking him to be her godfather. This is the real enticement coming from the accuser and not the defendant. For court to conclude that because of all this, R. Kelly is guilty of enticing and coercing these women is simply pretending to be oblivious of what actually happened. There is also plenty of image evidence available online to show that it was the women seducing R. Kelly and not the other way round. Geronda Pace, for example, can be seen in picture evidence stalking R. Kelly right outside the courtroom during his 2008 trial, and pursuing him to wherever he was going, likely asking to be with him. Clearly R. Kelly was not out there looking for these women and enticing them like the government indictment suggests. Another confirmation that all these government allegations were simply based on guesswork is the way they combined the two charges into a single count, which is technically not possible in legal procedures. The count is supposed to be the finest form of these accusations and not the other way round. The Chicago federal judge Lynon Weber, however, had to further separate the two components of this single count when he realized R. Kelly had been found not guilty for coercion, and this shows just how conflicted he was to force a guilty verdict where it shouldn't have been, that even after Bonjean advised he should have declared a mistrial, he still insisted on a guilty verdict. There are a number of charges that R. Kelly was subjected to which simply don't make sense, but still, the New York and Chicago judges managed to declare him guilty on the bogus counts. And this is one of the reasons fans and supporters of R. Kelly will not stop to demand for justice, for they know how crafty the judges had to be to get away with wrongful guilty convictions. The moment a legal process is not straightforward as should be, the moment the judge needs to twist the statement of the indictment, or the moment the conduct, criminal history and credibility of the government witnesses is ignored, it's always a sign of serious foul play. According to Mindy Stein, It's true there are so many concocted charges against R. Kelly, but there is just no way he could have done even 1 out of 10,000 of the things he is accused of. I believe 100% that even before the trials began, the judges had already declared him guilty. It's no wonder the Chicago judge managed to edit the indictment after deliberations so he could announce the verdict he preferred. These prejudicial judges need to be taken off the bench permanently, as they are the real enemies to the law. R. Kelly may be castigated for this and that, but what we truly know is that these women who are making claims were never forced to be with him in the first place. If any of them didn't like the way he ran his household, they were always free to leave, but they chose to stay because they felt they were treated like queens, and indeed they were. They all found their way to him either on their own or motivated by their parents, but none was either enticed or coerced like the custodians of the law want us to believe. According to Ty Alley, "Now I think I understand why Burna Boy's mum moves with him everywhere he goes. Likely to protect him from such scavenger women who may target him like they did R. Kelly. For every woman trying to get someone convicted for false rape and harassment allegations, please be reminded that for as long as God is still alive, no one gets away with anything. Absolutely no one." It's funny how every single one of the women now want to pretend like R. Kelly was out there looking to be with them so badly, that he had to entice and coerce them to be with him. This is not possible at all, for women have always hunted R. Kelly down voluntarily on their own. If anybody needed to entice or coerce anybody to be with him, it wasn't R. Kelly. In fact, all he was seen doing is try to keep them away, like he did Azriel Clary when he learnt that she had lied about her age, only for her mother to return her to him thereafter. It's such facts that make us wonder why R. Kelly would be determined the enticer and coercer in such circumstances where it's the woman and her mother who were insisting that R. Kelly be with her. Why would a man need to entice a woman who already wants him? It just doesn't make any logical sense. Everyone can see that both verdicts were unfair, considering they were not based on solid evidence to determine R. Kelly could have committed any of the alleged crimes. If you wish to take part in a live interview discussing any of these topics, let us know by sending an email to sashalfnmedia@gmail.com for scheduling. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.